In news from Jamaica, one senior member of the Andrew Holness cabinet is assuring the public that the government will not relent in the fight against crime. Industry and Commerce Minister Carl Samuda says the government is also working to provide increased opportunities for all. Leslie Sherwood has the details.
Industry and Commerce Minister Carl Samuda acknowledges that the government is aware of the high expectations of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP administration, and he says the government is committed to ensuring many of those demands are met. According to Mr. Samuda, of significant concern to the public is their safety and the assurance that the government is keeping a lid on crime and violence. Also of importance is the need for more employment opportunities and wealth creation. He sided with National Security Minister Robert Montague and Attorney General Marlene Malahoo Fort, who signaled the government's intention to make radical legislative changes to lower the country's spiraling murder rate. Mrs. Malahoo Fort had declared that some of the fundamental rights and freedoms guaranteed to Jamaicans may have to be abrogated, abridged or infringed as the government moves to amend critical legislation like the Bail Act. Under the amended Act, persons charged with murder will be denied an opportunity to access bail in certain cases.
I stand with the Attorney General and I stand with the Security Minister on this extremely important matter. Immediate action is also required. It is not business as usual. We will take decisive action to take back Jamaica as one community, and we will take it back one community at a time. We must amend our laws to put tougher penalties in place for persons convicted of violent crimes, and we must fix our justice system, and we don't resile from that.
Meanwhile, Mr. Samuda notes that there will be increased police presence in and around well-known crime hotspots. Also included in the crime-fighting measures is the continuation of community policing, social intervention programs, and a greater use of technology to solve crimes. He says plans are also in the pipeline to provide proper rehabilitation of prisoners.
The time has also come for proper rehabilitation programs to be implemented in the nation's prisons. We have to educate our prisoners and give them skills so that when they are released, they don't have to go back to a life of crime to feed themselves and their children.
The government is also appealing to citizens and the parliamentary opposition to support the fight against criminality.
This is not the time for one-upmanship and gamesmanship. This is the time to collaborate. Whatever our individual ambitions may be, let us repress those. Let us suppress them. Let us even hide them for the interests of the people. If we reduce crime, we can grow the economy without investing an extra dollar. If we reduce crime, it means economic growth and development for the country. Crime not only affects everybody, it's very costly to everybody.
As it relates to swift delivery of justice, Mrs. Samuda explains that Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has outlined a plan to tackle the backlog of cases in the courts.
This administration will be continuing, one, the Justice Reform Program, the program to remove and repeal outdated legislation. 3, the backlog reduction efforts in the courts. 4, the modernization and expansion of the courts. And 5, the thrust to protect vulnerable groups in our society. Mr. Speaker, even our greatest detractors could not but applaud such an objective.
Mr. Samuda was addressing Parliament on Tuesday. He presented the government's closing arguments as the House of Representatives wrapped up their 2016-2017 sectoral debate. I'm Leslie Sherwood for CEEN Caribbean News.